All right. Hey, everybody. Welcome to the Crown Council's live stream. I am Stuart Anderson, and it is September 26th, 2024. We're grateful that you would join us either recorded or live. This is our weekly program where we communicate and talk to the awesome community of the Crown Council. We are 1,000 practices strong across the United States and Canada, as well as resource partners, team members, and everyone that makes up this incredible community. This is our weekly program where we connect with everyone from the community. Share what's happening, share how you can engage with us, and obviously share the stories of some of the great Crown Council members. So I'm going to share my screen real quick before we get started. Well, I guess we're started. This is crowncouncil.com, and I am logged in. You can see here I'm already logged in with my picture. If you go to my directory, everyone will have the same look. You will have the 30th annual event in your directory. We are excited to be planning and preparing for the 30th annual event, which is right around the corner in Dallas, Texas, in Frisco. We are so excited to be at the PGA Omni Hotel. We have the whole hotel to ourselves, and we want every Crown Council office represented at our annual gathering. One thing that we wanted to share today on the live stream is this awesome program we heard about last year at the annual event called Earn Your Seat. It's an incentive program that every practice can use or copy or try to copy in a few ways to help your team members earn their seat to attend the annual event. So that is here in this little portal. And I wanted to share today an interview we did with the Sugar House dentist. The Sugar House dentist, Dr. Jared Tyre, has implemented an Earn Your Seat program for attending the annual event. And we wanted to share that quick interview with you, along with how they implemented the program with their team and how they are earning their seat to join the 30th annual event. All right, so enjoy this little interview with the Sugar House dentist. All right, Steve, we've got our first guest with us. And I went to the Dominican with Kate last year, so we shared some really fun clinics together. Kate was on stage with you at the annual event presenting this year's Team Member of the Year, because last year, Kate actually won that award at the annual event.
Yes.
So fun to have Kate here for her second appearance on Crown Council Live.
Wow.
Kate, welcome.
Hello.
You're famous.
What's up, Kate? I haven't seen you since we were on stage together a few weeks ago.
Yeah, you look good at
that. I did look good then. Not so good now, but I did look good then.
Steve was the only really good looking cowboy Texan on. Me and Greg were just pretending. I didn't know what I was doing. That hat was awesome. Very good. Hey, well, welcome. I invited you today to share your Earn a Seat idea that your practice is using. I have the document ready. I don't know if you want to go right to it or if you want to explain what your practice is doing, what this concept is for Earn a Seat to the annual event.
So yeah, we were in the annual event at that meeting when Dr. McIntyre,
that's right,
brought it up. I had no idea who he was, so I texted Greg afterwards and was like, who was just talking? So he sent it to me, or he sent me the information. We did some Google research and called out, and their office sent it to us. So we copied their genius and added a little bit to it. We had some ideas from this annual event that made us realize that we could do better with growing our team and that team energy that we wanted. And so we added some ideas that came from that annual event to it. So the goal is to have our employees put forth the effort to do at least 5 of these things on the list before the date that we've specified, so we can still pay for their way to get there. And then if they're able to do that, we're going to take care of them and their trip to the annual event, which is going to be really fun. It's been a while since we took the whole team.
Nice.
So it'll be good.
Okay. Yeah. I'm going to share my screen so you can see it.
Okay.
So you can see the doc. We can go through one at a time, or if you want to just highlight some, you've got the stage here, Kate, however you want to do this.
Oh, I don't know.
Let's read them. Okay. So like Kate said, bringing the team to the annual event does make it different. We always encourage the entire team to attend. And the main reason is that we've created the event itself for that purpose, for teams to come together as a camping experience, to experience education, but also experiences that will help you grow and have better patient service. And so that's why we love this idea of bringing everyone and making it worthwhile. And last week we heard from Becky McIntyre talk about how when you're required to do something where you put effort in, where you do more, it means more. It's a more meaningful thing. So, okay, let's start with number 1. Do you want to read it? Can you read it?
Yeah, sure.
Okay.
It says, receive 5 raving fan reviews from patients who you wowed. Turn in the written reviews.
Okay.
This is actually kind of entertaining. We've learned that our Google reviews do more for us than, well, I'd say it's probably our second best thing. Patient referrals are still the number 1, but people look at Google all the time now, and it's kind of awkward to ask for that. But our team came back and they were like, I have to have them write down on a piece of paper how amazing I was. That seems weird. So we had to clarify. We're looking at like Google reviews or Yelp. I just said Whelp. Yelp reviews. Patients just had a great experience and are willing to talk about it. And we've said, even if it doesn't necessarily directly mention you, just get them to write a review about their experience here, because we want more patients like them. So that's been cool. The next one is develop and carry out an idea that will improve your post or office, help implement the system or new idea that will further promote our purpose, and write up what you did. And that, I think, is more just like with individual tasks. There's always new way. So if you've got an idea, share with us what the change should be, and let's implement it and see how it goes.
Nice.
I'll be honest, in the past we've tried some of this and it's failed until you go back to the way it was before, but you never know until you try. And so to get the team thinking about that was our goal there. The next one is learn and grow. Pick a topic that would benefit our team, read a book and attend a training, and then teach our team during a monthly training session at our team meeting.
Ooh.
I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. They're
Very
going to a
good,
training
though.
and sharing their information with us.
Okay.
Which everybody learns things at different times, right? So it'll be cool. We'll see. The next one is volunteer for 12 hours at a nonprofit or a cause you deem to be worthwhile. Write up with what you did or with photos and how it impacted you and those you serve. And then it says, let us post your efforts on social media channels. That one, I think we've had a few people who have actually already made some effort on that. And they are very much like, I don't want you to post about this anywhere. And that's okay. That can be a little interesting at times.
Yeah.
That's fine. The next one is solve a problem, evaluate your post, identify an area that causes issues, doesn't flow, or there isn't a system in place. Bring your ideas for solutions and help implement it.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty self-explanatory. Acknowledge and recognize your teammates. Each month, find a way to recognize and acknowledge each member of the team. We've grown quite a bit in our practice, particularly. A few years back, we were at a total of 8 people, and now we're at 23, I think. Wow. And so that's where the team has started to actually be more aware of what others are doing for them, which has been cool.
Hey, Kate, can I pause you right there?
Wit,
Kate,
whatever it takes. Share 5 examples of where you were a willing wit and did whatever it takes to make things happen. When asked to help, respond with happy to do it, having a positive, willing attitude, make teamwork happen. And so for the purposes of ours, we told them they had until October 31st so that we could make changes for the annual event, for hotel reservations, things like that. And so that all of these things, whatever they're doing, even if it's a monthly thing, it is something that we want them to do through that time frame. So we still have time to plan their spot and pay for it and all that stuff too. But yeah, be a contributor at least twice a month at team meetings, be involved and participate, speak up and give your opinion, make suggestions, keep track of your participation to turn in. We started implementing this has been like a year ago, we started implementing the organization's team meetings as well. So we do like a whole team meeting, but then once a month during our lunch hour, the hygienists will all get together and the assistants will get together on a different day. And our business team will get together on a different day, and then the doctors as well. And so in those team meetings, we discuss things that are working within their role, things they've noticed, what we can help with that. And sometimes it's hard for people to speak up. They feel like it's not really, their opinion maybe isn't as heard as it could be. And so we're working to get them to speak up because we want to create that safe space for them to do so. So that's what that one's about. Come up with a way to make work more fun. Bring your ideas for approval and then carry out your idea. Write up what you did and how you made work more fun. We actually have already had 2 people who have implemented some things. One of our gals started, we're doing like a potluck, a monthly or every other month potluck during lunch. And so we just did it yesterday for Valentine's Day.
Okay.
And so that was fun. Sometimes yesterday was definitely more treats than it was substance or food of substance, but
Okay,
it was,
you're the fun police.
was fun. And
Way
our other gal actually put together a sock competition. So the whole team voted on who had the best Valentine's socks yesterday, and she went out and got a Stanley Cup and some treats to go in the Stanley Cup. And the winner, I don't think I've ever heard that woman squeal as loud as she did when she won that thing. It was quite awesome.
Squeal.
So yeah, that's been fun to watch the team go for that as well. Let's see, spread gratitude. Each month, write a note or letter to at least 3 patients expressing gratitude, amazement, or sympathy for them. Document it with photos and turn in. And that's something we have kind of passively done, where we regularly stock letters in the practice. So people, if they've seen a patient that they really felt they connected with, they are writing a letter and getting it out to them. But this is hopefully something that we're in the process of expressing that gratitude more. And so those same letters now, they just need to make sure they're getting it out to 3 patients or employees for that matter in a month, and thanking them for what they've done or how they've been, or just expressing sympathy. I mean, people go through hard things in life. And so that's been good to see as well. But yeah.
Nice.
The next one is take a 15-minute walk with each member of the team, one-on-one. Get to know something new about them, see what you find out. Ask if you can share that fascinating detail with the rest of the team at our morning opportunity meeting so we can get to know each other better. Documentation for this is only that you did it. We don't need details of the conversation. If something you learned should be kept confidential, just remember that you are now a member of that person's trusted circle. This is directly from the annual event. It was, I can't remember first name, Aker, I think, who talked about 15-minute walks like 3 times a week. And so it's been cool to see the team get outside of the office, even if they're just walking down to, the 7-Eleven or the A&W on the corner to grab a snack and come back, getting to know each other one-on-one and getting outside.
Yeah.
Some days don't work as well as others because it's a little cold in Utah some days, but yeah, it works out. The next one, let's see. Participate in a group book read. Groups assigned out. It does say randomly, but it is definitely not random. But they are assigned out by the doctors based on information they think will help the team. You may be invited to a group book read at any time. Be willing to learn something new. We came back and we all started reading, not all. The doctors picked a group, but there's 7 or 8 of us right now who are reading Crucial Conversations.
Nice.
And that has been really cool already to see the influence that has had in the practice, and how just the people in the group are starting to spread that to the others in the practice, and how they're talking to people and how they're thinking through conversations. So that's been awesome. Twice a month in the MOM, take 3 minutes to share your thoughts with the group, a positive experience, what you learned, a story, or some way that helped you. Enlighten the group, document your sharing for us to keep. So we've done the best thing for a while, like Tops shares with you. And I usually at least once a week now have started to, we've only had, I think, 3 weeks since the Crown Council, but I've started to assign out and just say, hey, would you be comfortable? And so as we're going through the best thing, sometimes we pause that and say, so-and-so is going to share, and they choose to share something. And it's actually been really cool to hear our team talk about why they keep coming back to work with us in this crazy place. You know, what keeps you coming
Okay.
back to, I mean, we have people who drive 45 minutes to an hour to get here,
Wow.
and they could definitely find an office closer to where they are. And
Yeah.
so there's something that's happening that keeps them coming back here. And so it's been cool to share, or to help have them share their experiences from that. Participate in the Smiles for Life fundraising by providing a basket to be raffled off and encourage patients to participate. So this year we're trying to do something different with our Smiles, or in addition to our Smiles for Life. I think someone at the annual event actually talked about how they do baskets and raffle them off or auction them off.
Yeah.
And so we're going to try and do like every 2 weeks where anybody that has bought a raffle ticket, we're raffling off these smaller baskets and donating that to Smiles for Life as well. So if our employees feel like they can donate a basket to that raffle, that's what that's about. And the last one just says, come up with your own idea and submit it for approval.
I love
So,
it.
yeah.
Way to go, Kate. I had one question. Maybe Steve's got a question or two. Steve, my question to you, Kate, is when you presented this to the team, how did you do it? Did you just do it at a team meeting? And then I want to know what did they say? How did they react? The attitude of everyone.
We actually felt this to be more urgent, so we didn't wait for a team meeting.
Okay.
We came back, and from the time, I mean, we got back on a Sunday night and we had presented it to the team by Tuesday around lunchtime. That was, we got the information in, we edited it, we went, this is what we want to do, and we had it out. Normally I'm a little bit more careful and take my time with all the details. And this felt like it was something that we wanted to really take advantage of right away. So that day, we just asked the team, anybody who was here that day, we had about 3/4 of our team here that day. And so we asked anybody that was here to just hang out right before they all left for lunch at 1, and pulled the team into our tiny little treatment planning office that really is only meant for 3 people. And we said, all right, guys, we just got back from this event. It was a wonderful event. It's life-changing. It's taught us so much, and we are so excited about the future. We want you guys to be part of this, and we want anyone who wants to be there to come. So our way of giving an incentive for who wants to be there is to put this out there. And so then we went through and explained how it was going to be done. And then I shared my experience and how these things that we talk about at the annual event are not just about the office. And a lot of times it's about my personal life, what I need to be changing and how I can help people or my spouse or my family in my personal life as well. And how much those talks apply to your life outside of the office and inside of the office. And just the general doing good atmosphere that it brings.
Very good.
We've got a couple people in the office who we love dearly, are probably never going to go to one of these events unless it's in Salt Lake, because they're not going to leave their own homes. So that's going to be interesting. But throughout the office, it feels like it just started with this buzz, and it has kind of continued as people have talked about
Nice.
different ideas, what can work, what can't work. And we've got a solid probably 14 people right now who are already like, I'm committed, I'm going to do this, we're going to do this together. And so it's been really cool. And that's employees. I told you we've got like 23. There's doctors that obviously are coming anyways and things like that, but it's been really good.
Nice.
Love it.
Steve, questions for Kate? Steve?
That's awesome, Kate. Thanks for the great example. Love the list. Great criteria. And just as a point of interest, you guys have created your own list. You can use this as a model, and any practice can create their own criteria based on what you're trying to focus on. as a team. So I love the example, and it means more when you have to do something to earn it.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
love that.
I agree.
Thanks, Kate.
Agreed.
Now,
Thanks.
one final question, Kate, before we leave. Did you write on your own whiteboard behind you, Kate is the absolute best? I want to know if you did that or did someone else write that?
No. Our insurance gal works in this office with me. We've got two of
okay.
them, and one of them is phenomenal at writing those cute little notes of positivity.
All right.
So there's
Just
actually a couple sticky notes behind me, and Aubrey's got a couple sticky notes around her desk that say similar things.
Fun. Thank you, Kate.
But yeah.
Very grateful
you.
for you. Grateful for your team. Thanks for joining us today.
Thanks, Kate.
Thanks for having me. Have a great
Okay,
day.
bye. See ya.
Bye.
All right. Thank you, Kate. Thank you for sharing. Thank you for making this group better by your ideas. And hopefully everybody can implement some kind of earn your seat program in your own practice. All right. Our next segment on the live stream today is our Coach's Corner. Tanya Bailey from the TOPS coaching team, Practice Advisors, is joining us from Dr. Jeff Roy's practice. We're grateful for Tanya and thankful as she travels the country as part of the TOPS team to teach the systems that will make you and help you build a culture of success in your practice. So she was with Dr. Jeff Roy, and this is the interview that we did talking about what they're working on, what she's helping with, and some of the successes and challenges that this practice has as they're working with their own TOPS coach. Thank you, Tanya. Hey, everybody. Welcome to Crown Council Live Stream. This is Coach's Corner. Tanya Bailey, how are you?
I'm well. How about you?
I am very good. It is Halloween, although we will be playing this on Thursday of this week, but happy Halloween. We have to do some context as to why Dr. Jeff Roy is dressed like are you Uncle Fester or are you a monk? Like, what is it?
Yes, Uncle Fester.
Uncle Fester. Very good. Very creative. We're grateful. This is part of the live program where we connect with one of our Crown Council members and one of our TOPS coaches, hear what they're working on, and to just check in to see challenges that they're facing as well as the good things that are happening in the practice. Tanya, do you want to introduce us to where you are today?
Yes, I would love to. So I'm sure everybody recognizes Dr. Jeff Roy from 21st Century Dental and his two associate doctor, Dr. Batesman and Dr. Bristow. And I could run through the whole team, but this is the amazing 21st Century Dental team behind them.
Very fun. And who decorated the practice? Looks good.
Say that again.
Who decorated the practice? Man.
They transformed the break room.
Will tomorrow you guys transition into Christmas, or what will happen?
Thanksgiving first.
Very cool. Tanya, can you tell us a little bit about the practice, where you are located, and then how long you've been working with them, the size, stuff like that?
Yeah, I would love to. So I've had the honor and privilege of working with 21st Century Dental here in Irving, Texas for about 13 years now. And one of the, I think, probably most unique things about this practice that I've experienced is the just continual quest for excellence. And that's actually one of the things we were working on today. They would be, well, we are in the backyard of the Texas Rangers, who just won their second game in the World Series. So we're just so we're only a few more days away from them being the World Series champions, right?
Nice. Nice.
So we were talking about some of those similar characteristics of championship teams, and that getting to the top is one piece of it and staying at the top is another. And that's what I think is so unique about this team, is as we've worked with them over the years, every single year, they just get better and better, and it gets harder and harder to be there, right? So we spent the morning really working on what we call the common denominator of success, which is really focusing in on doing all the things that failures don't like to do. So we made some really great lists of just all the little things. In fact, Lisa, if I can shout her out, called it all the million little things.
Okay.
And so that's the game plan today, is working on the million little things that make 21st Century Dental the best.
Can we hear some of them?
You may. Who's got the list?
Please tell your list.
I mean, everything from, I mean, we do milkshakes and cookies but, you know, soft drinks, coffee, blankets, laughing gas, Vaseline on your lips if you want, a blanket if you're cold, just a million little things. I mean, there's things we were talking about today that we do and even did before the pandemic that we forgot about. So, and that was a lot about what we were talking about, is focusing on those things that we do well and being consistent in our delivery with them, with all patients, not selectively, moving forward.
Nice. Yeah, I've been listening to that classic Atomic Habits book, and it starts off that first chapter with all of the things that the British cycle team started to do, of marginal gains, that 1% difference that they make to change how that entire team started to work. It is real. A million little things is, I mean, I don't think it works any other way, right? It's not like you that's how it works. That's awesome. Tanya, what else are you guys working on in the last year? Any challenges that this team has faced that they've worked on and you could share?
Yeah, I would love to. So, you know, we're always measuring results. We're always looking at metrics. And last year, the team went through some changes as far as some of the business structure that affects things like tax ID numbers and MPI numbers. And that kind of threw a wrench into the whole process of billing insurance and accepting assignment of benefits and actually making sure the checks showed up here. And so that just has been a huge challenge because they see a lot of patients. They lost a long-term team member that unfortunately passed away, who was a big part of that process. And so this team's ability to come together and rise above and make things happen has been phenomenal. And so we're kind of at the tail end of that objective to get all of that cleaned up and straightened up and keep those systems chugging along the way they need to. So big shout out
Very
to
cool.
them for persevering through those challenges.
Nice. Hey, if you didn't know, you should. Everyone that's paying attention and listening, this team has donated over $160,000 to the Smiles for Life campaign, whitening campaign, since 2012. Ooh. Yeah, last year $15,975 to Smiles for Life whitening. I want this is a question for doctors or team members. Can you talk a little bit about one, how are you successful at Smiles for Life? And two, if you can answer either one, why do you do it? Why is this an important part of your practice?
I can address the important part. I mean,
Okay.
Part of who we are as a practice is being charitable. And I know years ago at one of the Crown Council annual events, it was a guy from Austin, I forget his name, but he was responsible for all these slogans. But he really drove in the point of, you know, not just doing good things, but also letting your patient base know about it, because they want to follow or exchange business with people that are like-minded with them. So it's not that we didn't do things, but we didn't always feel good about telling people we did things. And so this brings in the patients, you know, really they're doing it as well. So, and then the team is actually who does it, because our team are the ones that they sit down with the patients and deliver the experience. So.
Nice. Anybody else want to answer why you do it?
To make a difference.
You gotta talk louder.
To make a difference in someone else's life.
Very cool. And is there anything that specifically you're doing as a team? Just so you know, so did I cut somebody off?
I just told them this is the quietest they've been all.
Yeah, all good. That's all. Is there anything that you guys do that you could share with other Crown Council teams that are doing Smiles for Life? I mean, if you didn't know, you are the top 1% of offices that donate here. So what are you doing specifically that you could share with other practices to help make their whitening campaign just as successful?
We have a wall that has Smiles for Life in big bold letters that has all of our plaques and recognitions from Crown Council. And it says, you know, we've donated over X amount in whitening since 2000, whatever the date is. So that sparks a conversation as patients are getting their, especially new patient tour. Like, what the heck is Smiles for Life? And look at all these plaques and everything going on, what's going on. And so that is a conversation starter.
Very cool.
But other than that, nothing super creative. I mean, we whiten tea, then we accept the money and give it to you guys. Just let you do it and it goes to here.
As silly and funny as it sounds, it is the one piece of advice I give every office. I say, you know, you have to ask your patients if they want to have whitening if you expect them to get it done. So that's, yeah, very good. Tanya, what else? Is there anything else that this team does for their culture that you could share that other teams could emulate or follow that you've seen that they do?
Well, I was just sitting here thinking, like, it would be so amazing to really just take you on a tour of practice, because their culture isn't just something they talk about at the morning meeting or at a team meeting, but like, I'm looking around the walls right now and you guys can't see it, but maybe I can pick the computer up. I mean, they have all of the culture guide framed and put on the wall over there. Right above, behind the TV that we're looking at, they have their purpose, which is to create happy paying patients who repeat and refer and pay more than it costs to serve. Dr. Bristow mentioned their Smiles for Life wall. And if you go down to the front of the office, they have a huge piece that has their whole vision statement on. And one of Lisa on the team was sharing when she interviewed here and she read that, she knew it was the place that she wanted to come work.
Nice.
What I think is really spectacular is they don't just, talk about it in a team meeting behind closed doors, but their culture is visible all up and down the hall. And in the way the team communicates and interacts, not only with the patient, but really with each other every single day.
I love that. Anybody else want to add to that?
Well, we breathe it, we live it, it is who we are, and we enjoy it. So when you definitely enjoy it, you're gonna bring a whole different kind of energy to it.
Great. Anybody else?
It matters to us. Each one of us has formed like a bond in some type of way to where the patients can see and feel the team, the family, the comfort, the love that we have for each other and for what we do. And that just kind of translates over. And as far as like the Smiles for Life, I think the key is it matters to us. And then when you give a patient an opportunity to help, I think people want to help more than they are allowed to, but never given the opportunity to. So we just give them the opportunity to help.
That's awesome. Is there anyone else? Tanya's looking back.
We're gonna be in so much
Eyeballs. They're acting all shy.
So back to the culture we were talking earlier about, patients commenting on team members seem to be having a good time, like it spills out in the hallway and around the corner. I mean, we don't have doors on the ops. And so, laughter down the hallway is kind of the, what we feel here. And, it's not something we're trying to do to fool somebody. We're actually, for the most part, having a good time.
With the occasional correction.
Very cool. Well, Crown Council looks to this practice in so many ways. You guys are leaders and examples to this group. And I think that that's a huge credit to the doctors. The example that you set, it starts from the top with how you treat your patients and each other. And it's just, I'm grateful for our relationship and thankful for what I've learned from this team over the years, especially just interacting at the annual event and watching how you serve your patients. So, Tanya, anything else before we wrap up?
Well, I think one thing, I do have doctors and teams asking all the time, like, how do they, how do they create an environment and a culture where people are looking forward to coming to the annual event? And I think one thing that they did this year that I thought was really cool, they determined, what was the number that the practice could take to the annual event in Austin in January. And then they created an opportunity for people, the team members, to write an essay or a letter for why they would like to attend the annual event. And so from that, Dr. Roy and a leadership team, chose the people that are going to get to attend this year. And I think I love that idea because you want to take people to the annual event that want to be there. So having a way to make it fun and exciting and create that desire to be there and to grow and want to be poured into is huge. So that would be
Great
something
idea.
I would suggest would be a little pearl that Dr. Roy could share, with other practice owners.
Really smart. Great. Very good. Okay, get back to work. We've taken too much time, Tanya. You guys I bet you're busy here. I bet you got Halloween cupcakes to eat.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna leave the video on so you can see how loud they're gonna be.
Ooh, yeah. You know what
Okay.
We always do over-unders on how many times Tanya's gonna have to say, coming in.
Tanya, I do think we should organize one time. All I can think about is that, you guys remember that Janet Jackson music video where the guy's walking around for like 5 minutes with the camera, just like point? That's what I envision you walking around this practice with that laptop, just stumbly. We should do it one week. We got to do it.
Gotta do it. Let's schedule it. I'll be back.
Okay. Cool. Let's do it. Okay, you guys, thank you so much. Grateful to share with you. Thankful for this team. You guys are awesome. Okay. Bye, Tanya. Thanks.
Bye.
Happy Halloween.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Roy and Tanya. We're grateful for that little coach's corner. We're grateful for our TOPS team and all that those coaches do to help you build a culture of success. Our last segment today on this live stream is an interview I did with Dr. Marcus Stones. Marcus is one of my good friends, a member of the Crown Council, an example and leader to all of the membership. Grateful for him and thankful for the wise words that he shares and the time we get to spend together doing this little interview for the live stream. We've been great friends over the years, and Marcus is incredible, whether it's joining us at the annual event, participating in Smiles for Life, or leading the way in his own community through being an incredible healthcare provider. So thank you, Marcus, for this interview. Enjoy. All right, welcome to our Crown Council Live. This is a recorded version with Dr. Marcus Stones. Welcome, Dr. Stones.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Hey, grateful to have you. Except look at your name on the broadcast there, Little Fella Stones. Is that a permanent name that you keep on your screen?
Little fella is what they call me. I think I'm an inch shy of being able to get a blue handicap sticker so I can park close to the building.
Nice. Me and Marcus were together last week. His daughter married one of my really good friends. So he traveled to Salt Lake City, and I said to myself, what a perfect time to interview him, talk about his practice, his life. I really admire Marcus, the way he balances, and just what a good man he is, the family and practice that he's created. It's worth sharing. That's why Crown Council is so awesome, as mentors like Marcus are willing to share and teach everybody what he's doing. So does that sound fair? We good to go?
We're good to go.
Nice, man. So maybe just share a little bit about where you are, size of your practice, and just kind of basic information about what you do.
Okay, so I practice in Salem, Oregon. It's about 40 minutes south of Portland. I bought this place right out of dental school. There was a gentleman here that suddenly passed away during my senior year of school. And so he passed away in April, and we don't take the boards until June. So there were several months that the practice had to be kept afloat. Two good friends of his kept the practice alive by coming in a couple times a week. But for about 3 to 4 months, there was a lot of limbo to the practice, what was going to happen. We feel really fortunate. We met the former dentist's wife, and she felt like we'd be a good fit to fill that spot. And so she offered us the position to to buy the practice, and we've been here 20 years in 2 days.
Dang,
So
man. Nice.
been quite a roll, and it's a single dental practice. I've practiced solo my whole career. I think there are things that I probably miss where I would enjoy working with somebody else, but there's a lot of freedom in what I do, and I like what I do. I love dentistry. It's been a great profession, and but I'll tell you, for that first year coming right out of school, I was nervous every day coming to practice because it was like, oh, can I pull this off? Can I do it?
What did you use, or how did you guide your philosophy of care? Did you have mentors? Did you have books? Like, how did you determine how your practice was going to be run and the culture of what you were going to create?
You know, it took some time to develop, but when I first got here, I noticed that the dentist that I purchased from, the philosophies that I have are similar. Okay. And that made it easy to transition because I inherited a very mature staff. They were considerably older than I was. They'd been here forever. The dentist pretty much just gave them the ability to tell him where to be, where to go, and what to do. But that was tough because I'm a hands-on guy. I like to know what's going on. And it was a difficult transition from the standpoint that I had to let some things go and just realize, trust these people. They can teach you a lot. The staff was fantastic, but little by little, a couple of them had life changes, and so they moved on. But the most important thing that I think I did, and we did reasonably well, is we didn't make any drastic changes in the first year or two. That could have been pretty tough on the staff, but most importantly, the patients. And with the practice being kind of in limbo for a few months, we couldn't quite evaluate what the attrition was going to be in the practice. How many people wanted to stick around? In a smaller community like Salem, there's a lot of other dentists that go to our church that some of the patients may have opted to just leave, and we wouldn't know that they would have left for a good 6 months to a year.
Yeah.
So our goal was to be consistent, be kind, stand out from the standpoint that, hey, we're here. We came from a great school with a lot of great training, and you'll get wonderful care. We just had to match that with the business skills I didn't quite know yet. So,
and what do you think now? With the success of your practice now, what is it that draws people to you? Not only the team that stays with you, but the patients that come to you. What is it that sets you apart in the market?
I would say the biggest thing is that we try to be super genuine here at our office. We want to be kind. We want to match how we feel inside with how we interact with our patients. We have a blast here at the office. We have a big philosophy is, if it ain't fun, go home. This is a place to have fun, and dentistry for a lot of people is not fun. So I have 3 jokes. I think I share them with every patient every day. They're really good ones, but
Nice.
We laugh a lot here in the office, and it's great to hear a patient say, I have never had so much fun in a dental office and I can't stand going here. And yet they love to come back. So we like that personal touch. I think a lot of the big box dental outfits out there, they can't provide that. There's too much changeover. There's not a lot of personal connection. And we really find that that's a nice touch. We still call every new patient the night before, let them know that they're welcome to the office. If I can answer questions,
Nice.
do such. We find that's a touch. I still write welcome to the office handwritten cards every time they come. And I don't know if that's a good thing or a bad thing, but
With paper and pen.
with paper and pen. And you try to write something a little special in each one, but they're kind of stock. But I find that who gets a card from anyone else? I think that sets us apart as
Great touch.
the little things. They don't call me a little fella for nothing, right?
Nice. Hey, I'd love to talk about your doing good strategy. You're always involved in Smiles for Life. You guys have raised over $35,000 for Smiles for Life whitening. I know you've been on humanitarian trips. How does doing good factor into your practice?
I wish we would have started some of this a lot sooner. We love the Smiles for Life campaign. We support the Make-A-Wish Foundation. We had a nephew who tragically passed away from a brain tumor, but he was supported by this, by their organization. And we feel giving back, you know, is the right thing to do. You know, there's more to life than, you know, dentistry and coming into work every day. There's a lot of people in need. And with some of our favorite things have been going to the Dominican Republic. I've had a chance to go on 2 trips.
Nice.
And I've been able to take 3 of my 4 kids, which was, it's been great. I wish I would have started younger going to those trips. You don't think you can afford it. It takes a bit to plan, but it comes back to you tenfold and just being a better person and seeing the world of others through a different lens. So my wife and I kind of have it a goal to go every couple years. This last trip, we had 2 of our kids and then sister-in-law and her son. And that boy, you know, struggles with a lot of depression and a lot of challenges. And to see him in a foreign land helping others, it's what it's about. We change
Nice.
lives with them, you know, within ourselves. I think that's where the biggest change comes from. And, you know, we've done locally the Mission of Mercy, which is huge. You service your own community, and I've taken staff to that, and man, you just feel better, you know, doing things that are good. I mean, you
agree.
can't come away from those things thinking that, hey, life is really good. And if you can share it, do it with a smile.
I love that. Well, maybe advice to other doctors looking for balance. I from the outside, it looks like you're very well balanced. Work, play, family. I think you've got a great kind of philosophy when it comes to balance. Is there anything that guides you there or advice you'd give?
You know, work is work. It's not everything. You know, there's a lot more important things than coming to work every day. And I think one of those is your own family. You better spend some good time with them, because that's, you know, where it becomes most important. But we have, I practiced for 5 days a week for many years, but Friday's fun day. Growing up in a home where Sunday was valued as a sacred day, you don't go out and play and do other things. I always missed having a 2-day weekend. So Friday, Saturday is my weekend now.
Nice.
But we, you know, my wife and I, we love to golf. We play almost every Friday and Saturday. We've gotten our kids into it. Love to go out and fish. I act like I like to ride a bike. It's tough, but you sometimes got to do hard things. You know, you got to teach your kids that there's more important things than just getting an education and going to work every day. One of the best things I've found with this profession, hopefully some of the younger dentists listening, is never miss an opportunity to be at your kids' activities. You have a chance in this kind of profession to work your schedule as such that you can be there for anything that they have. Don't miss it, because it goes fast. We're down to our last 2 kids at home, and it's gone really quick. I have 2 kids that are now married, and before long, those kids are off on their own. So,
Yeah.
you know, we do a lot of goofing off. We love to play. You know,
Nice.
there's
I
no
love
doubt.
it. Hey, as we wrap up, I always kind of ask this same question, which is, if you were to meet young Marcus back when he's right out of dental school, any advice or things you would do different if you had that opportunity to talk to your younger self?
You know, I would say, don't be afraid to fail. I'm one that likes to do things right the first time and not have to repeat it, but it's okay. You know, failure's fine. Get all the CE you can when you're young, because, you know, there are times where it's difficult to fit in maybe CE because life gets busy. Things happen. But enjoy what you do, because going to work every day, not liking what you do, is a drag. Now, I felt like we've listened to that counsel quite well. But, you know, we got affiliated with TOPS a little over 10 years ago. And that was probably the best thing we could have done. Actually, I was at, what was it? It was a full mouth reconstruction course in Las Vegas with Marv Staggs, Utah Valley Lab, and PDR Lab here locally. And I met Chris Hammond there, met Dr. Hammond, and they talked about the Crown Council and what it's done for them. And I think Steve Anderson spoke. And it was that we learned, hey, there's bigger and better things out there that we can tap into that can make us better at what we do. Took me over 10 years to, actually it was about 8 years to get to that point. I think using mentors early in your career is valuable. Don't be too proud to learn something new from somebody who's already been there. Don't reinvent the wheel. Try not to be something you're not, be genuine. Those are the things that I would tell myself, because coming right out of school and purchasing a place is difficult. It's not the common thing anymore. Most people come out and practice in big box places, and that's fine. That works. But if you have an opportunity to do your own thing, trust yourself. You got the skills. People will be drawn to you if you treat them well.
Very cool. Hey, shameless plug. You never miss an annual event. And if you wouldn't mind, maybe just tell everybody why you come to the annual event, what's it good for, and any thoughts on attending a Crown Council annual event. Shameless plug.
Okay, you got to go. I missed the first few when I first was with the Crown Council. There was always something that I could find an excuse to make up to not go. My first one was in Utah. My wife couldn't go, so I took my 16-year-old daughter who just got married this last weekend.
Nice.
And she was sitting in that meeting going, what is this? Just like a big Amway convention or what?
Uh-huh.
But she still to this day will walk around and say, hey, you walk like a 10, you talk like a 10, you get what you want, you deserve it. She learned some great things, but most importantly, you learn to be a better person. I love those events. We do our very best to make each one. I know this next one's in Salt Lake. If you've never been to Salt Lake, beautiful city, great place to take your skis, come to the classes. You'll learn a lot from others that have done some pretty hard and tough things and have been there, and you can really glean some amazing, I'll say perspective in life. And take some staff. This is the first year I'm taking staff.
Nice.
In the past, I've only come with my wife. And while that's good, I think your staff needs to know why you come away from these things feeling so good. It's hard to capture that energy and bottle it up and bring it home. Take them with and let them enjoy it as well. But I love
cool.
it.
Nice.
So bring your skis this year, guys. We're gonna go up to Deer Valley and tear it up, or wherever we go. Maybe Snowbird. Start
praying for snow. This will be your ninth annual event. So grateful to have you at it's always fun to connect and not only be with you, everybody. I wish I could spend more time personally with everybody at the annual event. I kind of feel like I'm running around with my head cut off, but it's always fun to see you for a minute. So
because you're running the show. Well, Stuart, you've always been good to me, and I don't know, sometimes we just need to hang out more.
Yeah, man. Leadville 2023. Let's do it together.
Okay, you need to get me in, because on my accolades, they'll say sorry.
Sorry, pal.
There's another year for you.
All right, brother. I appreciate your time. Thank you so much.
Hey, happy to do it. Thanks so much. I appreciate you taking the time with me.
All right. Thanks, everybody, for joining us on the live stream today, September 26th. And we will see you next week with a whole new show. Bye.